Daredevil Charlie Cox was recently talking once again about the old iteration of Daredevil that was produced by ABC for Netflix, and he specifically wanted to talk about how, when they got to shooting Daredevil Born Again, things weren't working out, and that Disney quickly saw the error of their ways and were willing to course correct before a giant disaster. You know, I always figured Disney was sort of like Principal Skinner, where it's not him that's out of touch. It's clearly the rest of everybody else that's wrong in terms of their understanding of what they're going for, because that's literally how Bob Iger has been ever since returning as the CEO. But hey, nonetheless, Daredevil Born Again was not working out, right? It wasn't working out. We know that it had a lot of problems. It wasn't even a Daredevil TV series. There was a lot of issues with continuity because it wasn't in continuity. They were completely rebooting it while trying to say that it's not a reboot and tease that it's going to be some sort of continuation, that there wasn't a whole lot of action. Daredevil was a completely different character and so forth. Charlie Cox recently talked about this, saying when they sat down and looked at the series, they realized, and everybody realized, we need to course correct because if we put this out, it's not going to be what anybody wanted. And this version might find its audience, but the fans that were hoping for Daredevil to be like the Daredevil they've seen up until this point are going to be disappointed. This would include She-Hulk as well, because that version of Daredevil was super acrobatic and very formidable, but you weren't even getting that in Daredevil Born Again. So whatever this version was, it sounds like that it was a far cry from every version that we've seen so far. And, you know, Charlie Cox saying that you got to give it to Disney and Marvel for looking at it and realizing they needed to course correct, and then pulling everything back and reshuffling the entire cast, going back to the drawing board, getting back to the series and just going, okay, we're going to do what the fans want. I mean, it's the exact choice and call they had to make. Imagine had the original series come out. I still think that it would honestly be a death blow to Daredevil. There was no way that that series comes out with you waiting 3 to 4 weeks to see Daredevil suit up only for 5 minutes was ever going to be acceptable. That was just like, what were you thinking initially? What did you think you were doing? You know, what series were you making and for who? And Charlie Cox saying he's glad they course corrected, it's gotta add some faith in Daredevil Born Again being good, at least in my opinion.